All right. Okay. Testing 1 2 1 2. I've been making recordings over and over again. You know. Okay. All right. All right. When we're talking about being sovereign, okay, we're talking about. Okay, I'm gonna come from the military aspect, right? Okay. I have to. All right, and I'm ex-military in this, and I just want to let you know none of this is monetary. Monetized. All right. Okay. I'm not here to present to you the forms of no such, no kinds. There are other people out there that provide forms and everything to you. Do your research. All right, that's the whole point of behind saying that. I'm not legal vice or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always a trap that that the trapper is looking to put you in. You feel what I'm saying? All right. Okay. Now, when you talk about being sovereign, Um, that is my next goal. And one thing I realized before you can even buy a piece of property, you got to know what you're buying and how to file. I remember when I was military, all we did was just sign our name. It's like a herd process. You just go through, sign your name, bam. That's it. Go through, sign your name, bam. You just sign your life away. You laugh about it. Get a little money, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're not rich. You definitely, you're on welfare basically. And you are a piece of property. Okay. All right. Now, you still are a slave, by definition terms right now. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing the soldiering process to you. All right. Okay. I'm going to become a truck driver, right? You're probably thinking, oh, okay. Now, transportation makes up everything when it comes to a industrial business and economy. Point blank. Without transportation, you can't get the imports and the exports, the GDPs, none of that stuff. It ain't happening. The stock market is not happening. And people already know how the stock market was built, in the first place. All right. It was an exploitation of humans. All right. Okay. That's where you get human resource from. All right. People who are in the human resource are actually slave masters. They just twist the name. All right. Okay. Now, or slave master assistants, But anyway, okay. Now, when it comes to sovereignty, it's pretty basic, pretty simple. All you need to do is get the paperwork. Once you get the paperwork, if you want to do this via by tree, then I highly recommend you. This is what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna get the monies that I possibly can. I'm not gonna buy any land, any property. It's a reason for that. And it's a reason why I gotta tell even my own family members that they have to file for land patents. There's a reason for that also. Alright. Okay. The reason why I'm gonna gather the monies, which is nothing but a debt. The reason why I'm gonna gather the monies is so that way I can give them the foods, the water, and a place of shelter to kind of simulate what it's going to be like to be sovereign. All right. Okay. And I'm going to have certain instruments of cooking there, like calderons, cast iron calderons. Um, your own grills, not the man, not the welded ones. You want to make your own grills. You know, um, I'm gonna have fruits and I'll have vegetables, but they're not gonna be cooked like that. And also I'm gonna have seasons. Seasonings mean not the seasons you put on meat and fruits and vegetables. Now I'm talking about like rubbing alcohol with different herbs in it, okay, or flowers to make a seasoning just in case you get hurt, then you can, you know, kill whatever that is harmful to the body and hurry up and make it uh seal back. Make the wound seal back and heal properly. Okay. Also, seasonings as in jars of preventative and sustainable, like Dimetap. You would take that. Well, no, it ain't gonna be Dimetap. It's gonna be the real stuff made from roots, different vegetables and herbs and spices, this, that, and the third, and made, and it's going to be made and it's going to be preserved, and you would take it, you would take it every day. You would take it every day to boost your immune system, this, that, and the third. All right. Okay, and keep it sustained. You know, all right. Because there's no such thing as a vaccine. All right. Okay. If you if you do your history on a lot of things, you understand that a lot of stuff is a fraud. It deals with psychology. All right. Okay. Okay. Now, um, getting back towards the food, water, and shelter. I'm gonna make drinks. Okay. I'm going to make drinks out of pure lemonade and honey, lemon or lime drops with honey. Jug it, seal it, leave it in, leave it out there so it can do its thing, so the sun can do its thing. Same thing when it comes to teas, except for there's no such thing as the tea that you're thinking. Anything can be made into a tea. All right, cool. So in this case, I'm gonna get the moringa plant and honey, and also I'm gonna throw black tea in there, or green tea, whatever, but notice the contents that's on there. Okay, all right, and put that together, and I'm gonna jug it together, and then that's just gonna be it is what it is. All right, okay, okay. And I'm gonna have jugs of it. I mean, when I mean jugs, I mean hundreds of jugs. Okay, and it's gonna be on a nice hot sunny day for that matter. Meat, I'm gonna have the meat there. I'm gonna have turkey. I'm gonna have chicken. Even though I can easily go towards the straight vegetables and fruits, but I'm gonna have turkey, chicken. I'm gonna have pork there. I'm gonna have the beef there. That's it. That's just the four deadly four. Okay. I said, you know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna have those four there, and that's it. For meat. When it comes to vegetables, I'm gonna have the vegetables and I'm gonna have the fruits, but I'm gonna have a big calderon pot. It's gonna have gumbo, and that's just the way it's gonna be with the vegetables. It's not gonna be cooked all the way. Some vegetables I just want just raw, so I'm gonna make salads out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have people helping me out and stuff like that. Make my own dressings from your oils and from apple cider vinegar. You know, and sea salt. I'm gonna sea salt every meat there is, everything. I mean, I'm gonna stab it with sea salt. Okay, it's critical. Okay, um, and you want to grill it. Okay, you want to grill it. If you get in frying stuff, I mean, actually, nah. Why fry? You know what I'm saying? Use the oils for other reasons other than frying. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Um, let's see here. Um, unless you want to do plantains, then I mean, you can boil plantains too now. Now don't get me wrong with that. You can boil plantains. You know what I mean. Um, so I'm going back towards the basics on that, and then I'm going to make sure that I have 10 netbooks. All right, and USB drives, and the USB drives is gonna be filled packages for sovereignty. And also and the sovereignty is going to include you as going from a person to a living thing, to a live, even though we already know that we are living, but you're getting out of their game. Okay, and anybody else law that is parallel with their laws. You're getting out of their game. All right. Okay. All right. So that's what you're getting into. Okay. All right. And also for your real property, right? You putting a land patent on your real property. Okay. All right. So so you're taking it to that level. All right. Now, trust me on this. There's a lot of members of my branches and stuff like that. They don't even know what the crap is going on. Some of them do, but they haven't went for it and filed the forms. Some of them don't. Okay. All right. And some of them were just afraid to even go forward. All right. Okay. All right. So, that's what I'm gonna be doing for my tree reunion, and we're gonna gather our monies up, and we're gonna do what we need to do to become sovereign. Okay. All right. And then we're gonna make our own products, our own currency. All right. Okay. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Okay. All right. When it comes to like diesel fuel, this, that, and third. I mean, I done lived in a lot of terrains. I lived in desert, mountains, grasslands. I done lived on an island called the United Kingdom where it was just dreary weather and 1 week of summer. Like I done lived in cold weathers. Been in some stuff. When it comes to weathers. So I done seen it, been in a lot. Okay. Um, so before you buy any property, you got to get that land patent and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. And and this goes back to the tribal people. See, the tribal people are actually living the right life. They actually, they are, you know, and and there's something to add. It just popped up, to me. A lot of people, excuse me, that are wishing to be a part of the tribe, the tribes and stuff. You got to realize, if in history you are the tribe, why are you trying to be a part of somebody who came from you? I mean, that's something that I never understood about a lot of indigenous people. I never understood that. And I never will understand. And that's why I said I don't follow in the steps. Though my goal is to aim to be sovereign and a lot of my tree members. So I'm going forward towards that because I understand once I become a trucker, and then cross over into pilot and the ship process, is that and you got to know all these laws. You got to know the admiralty law, you got to know the ground law, you got to know the air law. There's 3 different types of laws and stuff, or whatever the crap that they call it. It's number of regulations. You know what I'm saying? Basically, regulations and policies. All right, that's one thing I learned in the military. It's number of regulations and policies. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Um, because it is a military occupation. All right, and and so yeah, you know, um, because you got to understand, you just can't buy any type of ship. you know, and the admiralty law, which is the maritime law, like you gotta know the regulations and policies that these people combine together, all right, to steal anything that they possibly can away from you, all right, because they don't own nothing, you know, they don't own nothing, they number pirates, they got off the ship, came on, settled down, took everything, established laws that don't make no sense, You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So, so what you're doing is essentially you're fighting back. You're gaining everything back. All right, that's what it's really all about. All right, okay, all right. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, it's continuous. I'm gonna get the paperwork that is needed, and I'm gonna soldier. And I'm gonna get the paperwork, and I'm gonna explain to them by PowerPoint, and I'm gonna have the PowerPoint on a big screen, and I'm gonna have a microphone so that way they can hear it, and so that way they can understand what we're about to get into as a tree. And you hit the powers to be like a missile, because we are the power. Actually, to tell you, I'm gonna be real with you. But they got us thinking that we are not the power, but which we are the power, which I already knew that anyway. But I just had to see stuff for myself. So we are the power. We're giving them credit. I mean, basically, that's it. That's what it is. We give them credit, and then that there spills over to accountancy and finance. You know what I'm saying? And the credit bureaus, we giving them credit for them to be who they are. You know what I'm saying? Which is make believe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's make believe. You know what I'm saying? They actually tell you. They be picking at you and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, um, and you get in and you make your own economy. And go back towards the tribal ways and stuff. A lot of people are like, no, 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 I won't be domestic. Well, okay, scratch everything what I just said. And if you want to be a slave, after you get finished researching and you make up your mind, you know, whether you want to be blind or you want to die. You like, what kind of stuff is that? You could be blind and get the money, or you can die. And when I mean die, I mean in many senses. You could be a slave, which you're dead, brain dead, however you call it. Or you can die, meaning meaning never exist ever again to the public and be sovereign and just extract yourself. Now, you would know that everybody else out there are slaves. That's a lot of burden to be, and that's another dimension of being blind. You could just ignore. And it, for you to sit up there and do that, I mean, you can do that all day long, but you're not blind if you're helping out your family. If you're helping out your tree members, all right, you got a lot more work to do. I would rather absolutely and wholly. When I mean wholly, I mean WHOLLY, and absolutely have every last member of my tree sign the form that they are sovereign and get the land patents than going on the outside and helping anybody else. I, I know I'm doing these videos and stuff just to be real with you. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts with evolution. If you can't save nobody from the inside, what is the use of saving anybody from the outside? Many people will go to a philosophical level, like, we all the same. Um, you could say that, yeah, you could say that, but when it comes down to who you are and your members of your tree and where you came from, it's just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. We all have our individual lineages. That's roots. That's the whole point of a tree. So philosophically, yeah, it is correct. But when you want to go down to technical, no, no. From a humanism perspective, yes. You know what I mean? So you got to preserve yourself, and yourself is your roots, of who you are, and you can extend it all the way back. All right. Because you make more of a change for humanity, even though we just one little dot out of the whole universe. I'm just saying, you make more of a change as best, all right, when you go back towards your roots. All right. Okay. All right. So in that came the conclusion that you know thyself, get sovereign, sign those papers, have it notarized, do all the procedures and everything that it takes for you to do to make sure that you own yourself and you are flesh, even though you are already a flesh and living man and blood or whatever, on the, on the whatever language. I'm just saying when it comes to law of the government and, on a piece of paper, regardless whether you got your claymores and your AT4s, all right, and your bow and arrows, you know, on paper to keep them, to keep the bloodshed at a minimum. See, that's what I'm saying. You can go to war physically or you can go to war mentally. Go to war mentally carries a long ways. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, with the bullet, it can only go so far. You know what I'm saying? People would versus me and and be like, okay, well, we could overthrow them. Who be? You don't know each and every last one of them. You don't know. You have no idea. You don't know each and every last one of them hearts. You know who needs to be touched. Then you gonna be forever in a constant battle. You know what I'm saying? You may be in a sort of constant battle if you become sovereign, this, that, and the third. But it won't be as far as like bloodshed. Then you be playing in the hands of who they are. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get that paperwork documented and separate yourself from them. You know what I mean? Then establish your arms. You feel what I'm saying? Because once you solve for them, then of course they know automatically, hey, do not come on this piece of property because you're not on soil. Now, is anybody gonna come on that property? Hell no, they're not. Nobody in their right mind is not gonna come on that property because they're what? Because the average human want to be what? Want to be governed by laws or want to be under a law which protects them, not knowing that they protect themselves. They're supposed to protect yourself. And being in the military, I know that false security governs the minds of the masses. And that's all I really need to say after this. You know what I'm saying? People like me can get, killed. So anyway, um, you know, um, you do the right thing you need to do with your tree. Like I said, I'm gonna get netbooks, print out paperwork, USB drives, have PowerPoint slide, and it's gonna be more than an hour. We're gonna take breaks. It's gonna be from sun up to sundown. You know, and you know, and we gonna get right. Gonna get right to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be all uniform dress type thing. Mentality. Because once we all sign everything, we're gonna need to file at the same time. Because there are time limits with a lot of this stuff, and see a lot of people don't know that, you know what I mean? So once we submit it all at the same time, they're gonna send it back to us what? Supposedly at the same time. So we can have that next meeting. Once we receive our stuff, we have that next meeting at the same time. File it at the same time. See what I'm saying? And the more of the numbers, the more they understand that it ain't no coming there with the National Guard or this, that, and the third. It ain't gonna be none of that stuff. Nah, you're not gonna come, like a mob, you know, 100 on one deep. No, you're not. It ain't happening. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't happening. It ain't happening. All right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because it hasn't happened to the owner 2G village. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that has became sovereign, it hasn't happened because they know if they go back on it, they risk getting in prison. See, that's one thing about the law, that they love to follow. They're like, darn, if I do, it's just like above so below. If I do something, then it's gonna reverse back on me. Yes, yes. Then the law is reversed on you. Yes, So get your family out of there, you know, and you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm gonna do. And transportation is everything because you get to move around, you get to travel. Um, I would travel from tribe to tribe. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't deal with a, I would only deal with the tribes. You see what I'm saying? You know, um, that's that's the only people I would deal with. I would only deal with tribes. That's it. I would only deal with tribes and royal families who are not into the corruptery. And how you figure that out is if they have their own land. If they are sovereign, then it'll be posted that they are sovereign. Once you get your land patent, from my understanding, you don't owe any income tax anyway. So once you get your land patent, then that's it. They're gonna try. They're gonna try. For what I've heard from those who are trying and are battling, they end up winning their land patent and stuff like that. But they're gonna try you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try in intimidating tactics, all types of stuff. They're gonna try you all kind of ways. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta know the law. And I'm gonna make sure all my members have their copies of the same thing. USB drive, the young has to represent the old. I'm gonna make sure that I get the herbs and stuff to increase the lifespan of the old and also the young, but primarily the old. Those are the targets first. Get them back to health. Get those herbs and spices and have them drinking that. You know, I mean, if they could just drink the stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, excuse me, I say stuff. If they could just drink the drinks, that's all they really need to do, and they don't have to be on these medications and increase their age, so other youth can see, yo, so and so, is living to see 100 something years old. You know what I mean? So and so is living to see 200 something years old. See, we need to go back to where we used to live to be 200 something years old and look like 100 something years old. And it's all in the genetics and the chemistry of things. So if your body peels back every 7 years to make you look younger, that means you need to eat the stuff. You need to eat and drink stuff that's gonna make you and look younger. At 100 years old, you should be looking 50 years old. At 150, you should be looking about 75. At about 200, you should be looking about 100 years old. You see what I'm saying? your organs is going. I mean, your body regenerates itself. You see what I'm saying? So you got to take control of your body. You know what I'm saying? And the younger you start, the better off you will be. Just being absolute serious. You know what I'm saying? So, and that goes along with being sovereign. Getting away from a lot of these foods and stuff out here like that. All right. I'm gonna make another video, and like I said, I'm just doing this just to reach out to like-minded people, because like-minded people is gonna be on the same path or it's gonna be on the same mindset, different paths, but we're gonna end up meeting each other somewhere out here in this world. Well, on this planet. I guarantee you that. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you. Somebody's thinking the same way, like, yo, I want to be royal. Not want to be, but I am royal, though I need to get away from certain factions, so that way I can conduct my own business and do what I need to do. Yes, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the first step, and like I said, I'm getting to nothing but transportation, because everything else is really kind of meaningless. You know what I'm saying? If information technology can be meaningful if you know how to use it. Even though I wouldn't really use it, um, I will only use it whenever I need to use it, because I don't need information technology. If you got yourself, then you are good. If you got your family, you're good. If you know how to travel, then you're good. If you got a ship, airplane, you know what I'm saying? Ship, airplane, your own trucks, you know the laws, this, that, and the third, you're good. You know what I mean? They can't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? They can't. You know, all they would do is try to harass you. But if you teach your kids, you know, then you're good to go. And like I said, um, each one of these laws are going to extend to other countries. Um, Also, I'm not into any of these groups out here, fraternities, sororities, of course. None of these, secret societies or whatever, none, because I wouldn't doubt that some of them are corrupt too, and that are a part of this whole process. I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's all I have. Peace.